Hello kids, I'm Santa Claus and I have to train to deliver all those gifts to you all. So I'll show you how Santa Claus trains. That is, my dear kids, how Santa Claus trains. Hashtag Eumind.
Hi, I'm Adrika Kotian and I'm a member of Eumind Group 4. This year we are focusing on green meals. This is Vidya Katana from 9th grade. How do you ensure your green meals are both visually appealing and nutritionally balanced?
I ensure that my green meals are visually appealing by using a variety of vegetables with different colors so that it looks appealing in both colorful and artistic ways. So that it tricks my mind into thinking that it looks good, it looks delicious, so I consume it more.
Okay, so next question. So what is the simplest way you incorporate green meals in your daily life?
I start by slowly adding more green vegetables into my daily meals such that my brain and body can get used to it, and then I make it a bigger proportion of my meals as the year goes on.
Thank you.
Action.
Hi, this is Rita Thakkar from 9th grade. So the question we have for you is that how do you prioritize healthy eating while traveling?
So, in my household, there's normally a lot of green meals that are cooked. So my body has adapted to it. And whenever I fly abroad or I go on a trip with my family, I get used to all these healthy meals and I usually prefer them over junk food. So recently I went on a trip with my family to Singapore. There was this very renowned dish of theirs named acai bowl. It's a mixture of yogurt with a lot of fruits. It's very healthy for your body. But on the other hand, it's very delicious and tasty. And that's how I prioritize healthy food over vegetables.
So, the next person which we are interviewing is Vivan Salim. So, how do you deal typically with the midnight cravings?
So I have a sweet tooth. Usually after my 3 meals of the day, I usually tend to have something very sweet like a dessert. So I used to prefer chocolates and sometimes other small candies as well. But now I have switched to more healthier alternatives. So instead of chocolates, I tend to go with healthy crunchy fruits and fruit yogurts, everything. So thank you.
Hi, this is Sarita Maushi and she's going to share a very famous recipe from her hometown.
आमच्या घरी मेथीची भाजी खूप माझ्या मुलांना आणि माझ्या हजबंडला आवडते. तर मेथीची भाजी धुवून येते. मेथीची भाजी आणली की पहिला साफ करून घेते, नंतर धुवून घेते पाण्याने, 3-4 पाण्यातून धुवून काढते, नंतर चिरून घेते, नंतर मग भांड्यामध्ये थोडं तेल टाकून कांदा मिरची फ्राय करून नंतर मेथीची भाजी बनवते. नंतर थोडं मीठ खोबरं वगैरे टाकून छान होते. मग माझ्या मुलांना आणि हजबंडला छान आवडते.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Anandita Nair and I'm from the 11th grade.
Hi, I'm Nikaya Dandiwala. I'm also from the 11th grade.
Okay, so if I had to ask you guys how you deal with unhealthy cravings all the time, how would you say you ensure that you're eating healthy foods as well?
Okay, so I'll go first. I think that cravings are okay as long as you are acting on them in moderation and you are not binge eating a lot. So if you want aloo bhujia, then you eat the entire packet of aloo bhujia. Maybe that's not the best, For those of you who don't know what aloo bhujia is, it's basically like a fried potato. What is the word? Sprinkle? I would say sprinkle is the closest alternative. I also think that for unhealthy cravings, there are a lot of alternatives available in the market today. So for fried foods, you have a lot of baked stuff that uses less oil. And for desserts, instead of munching on chocolate if you're a sweet tooth, dates are a really good way, jaggery, to get that sweetness in.
Right.
So personally, one of the things I make sure I incorporate into my diet is a very rigid balance between unhealthy and vegetables. So the thing is, if I do want to satisfy a craving, say when I'm studying, I really need dark chocolate. It's like a very new thing. So even if I do have like a slab of dark chocolate, no, not a slab, that's too much, don't do that. But if I have like a few pieces of dark chocolate, I'll make sure that later on in the day I have something to make up for it. For example, a fruit, or like she said, for unhealthy cravings, there are a lot of things in the market that provide a lot of healthy alternatives. For example, I came across this Kashmiri thing which was basically like apple chips, which I found very interesting.
I have seen that actually.
Yeah, I tasted it at this exhibition and it was really good. And not only was it yummy, but also it's really healthy. So stuff like that really helps.
And if you guys had to make a dream meal, it can be one dream meal. What do you think you have in that dream meal?
Okay. So basically, I am a big foodie. I love eating absolutely everything that comes my way. But I think one of my favorite foods consistently throughout the years has been khawswe, which is a Thai dish if I'm not wrong. So it is noodles, also with a certain type of curry. I think the curry is a good way to, mix up vegetables in and have it be a little bit healthy. Also, one more thing I would include in the dream meal is something that is extremely healthy that I have grown up eating my entire life is palak paneer. Palak paneer is basically sort of puree spinach, and paneer is cottage cheese. So we sort of mix that up and have that with a roti of bread, and that is awesome. One of my top favorite foods, and I would totally have that.
That's great. And personally, I'm a South Indian. I'm from Kerala, and we have a thing called a sadhya, which is basically a gigantic feast with a lot of vegetables. So there are lots of dishes in it that have different kinds of proteins and different vitamins for you. So there's something called avial, which has a lot of vegetables like beans, carrot, etc. And so a sadhya typically incorporates a lot of different kinds of vegetables and nutrients for you, and that would definitely be my dream meal because it also tastes amazing.
Also, ice cream. We cannot have it be fully healthy. We understand that a lot of people like junk food. I would have mint chocolate ice cream in my dream meal, and I'd be very upset if it wasn't there. In case anyone here wants to make me my dream meal, mint chocolate ice cream.
Thank you so much.
So I'm here with Sarthak Dhruv. He is a 9th grader. So Sarthak, what do you think is the most important factor when designing a menu for a green meal focused for a restaurant or cafe?
Usually, if you look at a green meal menu, you find bland descriptions or gobi patta and all that. If you look at the menu, you feel a kind of disgust. You don't want to look at it and you don't want to eat what's written in it. So while designing a menu, you must keep in mind the images and how it connects with the menu, like the person who's reading the menu. And while designing the menu, colors and all that can be used, and the name is also important. So the name can like take a quality of the dish and like
make it more appealing to the customer.
yes.
So, next question. How can restaurants or food service industries create more green meal options for their customers?
This can also help support the local farmers because there is only a very small amount of green meals dishes that are popular and most restaurants use. So they can take the local produce and make dishes on that. So that will help increase the local economy and they'll create interest.
Thank you.
So how do you think green meals affect a person's life and fitness?
Green meals affect a person's life and fitness because you are what you eat, and if you eat healthy stuff, you will be healthy. And green meals, what they comprise of is they are high in protein, low in fats, high in vitamin, high in fiber. So when you eat it, you feel fulfilled. I mean, you feel your stomach is full, so you don't have to eat more. And they are low in calories and high in volume. So when you eat it, you won't fill your calorie up so much, and your stomach will feel full too. And they are comparatively cheaper than non-veg options. So when you buy a green meal, you save up some money. So you can invest that money into some stocks or whatever you want, so that it gives you more profits in the future, which improves the quality of your life. And when you eat green meals, you won't just feel lazy, and you won't just feel the urge to slouch over and go off to sleep. You'll feel energetic and feel good throughout the day. So I guess that's it.
Thank you. Here we have the HOD of PE department, Eumind sir. So how can an athlete balance the intake of protein, carbohydrates and fats with green meals to support peak performance?
First of all, an athlete who is playing any of the sport should have the balanced diet. The diet plays a major role. When we speak about any of the athlete playing any sport, so the ratio is 70-30. So 70% which goes for the diet, what kind of food you eat, and 30% it's like for which game we are training. So that will give you a boost in your performance. As well as at early age itself, the athlete should have the dietitian who gives the food intake, like what kind of food should that athlete take, so that slowly and gradually the athlete will have plays a very different role and playing a different level of tournaments.
And so, besides the slogan of our school, we have the great, we commit to be fit. How can the school more improve these students' diet?
Okay, the school plays an important role, since the kids are there in the school for 5 to 6 hours, and they have to. The school should take the initiative in where whoever they hire the vendor for the canteen vendor, so they should have as a special check, they don't provide any of the junk food, and they always provide healthy food in the daily routine. Secondly, maybe our class teacher or class wise we can just appoint a monitor who just do a regular check on what kind of food the kids get in their tiffin box. Okay, it should be a proper meal with one day we can just set a program for protein, one day we can set up a program for like leafy vegetables and all that. So that's how it can be the school can take the initiative on this, so that the diet of the child goes well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This is Miss Reena. She is part of the English department. So, Miss, if you could design the perfect meal for a student, what would you make it look like?
I'm sure you've heard about the quote, let food be thy medicine and let medicine be thy food. So I think a perfect design for a student, a plate, would be a very balanced plate, okay, which provides sustained energy and improves focus and supports overall health. So ideally it should include the right amount of proteins, carbs, fats, healthy fats, fruits, vegetables. To sum it up, I think it should be a colorful plate which would be really appealing to the eye for the student, right?
Yes.
So that's it.
And if there are some students that with their busy schedule nowadays, if they're struggling to maintain a healthy diet, what advice would you give them?
Yes, this is a major issue that the students are facing, and I think first thing is to prep their meals. They should be prepared with a meal plan or something like that. And secondly, healthy snacking is very important, because finding junk is very easy. So they should go in for those granola bars or nuts and fruits. That would really help them to and be mindful about eating, what they're eating. It's not like they should be eating less, but eating the right times, the right times.
Thank you so much, Miss.
This is Ashuram sir from our Hindi department. सर, आपके हिसाब से हमारा खान पान हमारे संस्कृति और हमारे परिवार को कैसे प्रभावित करता है?
बिल्कुल, हमारा जो खान पान है वो हमारे परिवार को और हमारी संस्कृति को बहुत अलग अलग तरीकों से प्रभावित कर सकता है। जैसे कहा भी गया है कि जैसा अन्न खाओगे वैसा ही मन होगा। यानी हमारे जैसा खान पान होगा वैसे हमारे विचार होंगे। अगर हम चाहते हैं कि अपने विचारों को अच्छी तरह बनाएं, हमारा रहन सहन अच्छा हो, हमारा खान पान अच्छा हो, तो हम बहुत सारी चीजों को यानी संस्कारों के साथ सीख सकते हैं। हर चीज हमारे विचार अच्छे हो सकते हैं। अगर अधिकतर अब देखा जाता है तो हम विदेशी सभ्यता को धीरे धीरे अपना रहे हैं। उसमें क्या होता है कि हम बाहर की खाने की ओर ज्यादा ध्यान दे रहे हैं और घर का खाने में कम रुचि रखते हैं। अधिकतर बच्चों को भी देखा जाता है, कई बार तो हम देखते हैं कि बहुत सारे बच्चे होते हैं जो कैंटीन से या बाहर की चीजों की तरफ अहमियत ज्यादा देते हैं और घर का जो माता या पिता जो भी घर से उनसे टिफिन बनवा के भिजवाते हैं उसकी तरफ उनका ध्यान कम जाता है। तो अधिकतर अगर हम चाहते हैं कि हमारा स्वास्थ्य अच्छा हो, हमारी दिनचर्या अच्छी हो, हम लंबी उम्र तक स्वस्थ और निरोग रहकर जिए, तो इससे सबसे पहली जरूरत है हमारा खान पान अच्छा होना चाहिए। अगर हमारा खान पान अच्छा है तो हम पढ़ाई की तरफ अच्छी तरह ध्यान दे सकते हैं, हम अपना काम अच्छे ढंग से कर सकते हैं और हम आने वाले पीढ़ियों को भी हम एक बेहतर तरीके से उनका जीवन निर्धारित कर सकते हैं। अब देखा जाए दूसरी बात यह भी है कि जहां जहां अधिकतर बीमारियां जो आती है वो कहां से आती है? खान पान से। और भारत के अंदर लगभग 70 से 80% लोग ऐसे हैं जो मधुमेह डायबिटीज जैसी बीमारियों से जूझ रहे हैं। तो उसमें खान पान अहमियत रखता है। हम डॉक्टर जी चिकित्सक से सलाह लेते हैं तो वो भी ये कहते हैं कि खान पान पर ध्यान दो। तो हमें जरूरत है कि अधिक से अधिक घर का खाना खाएं और हमारे परिवार पर भी अधिकतर प्रभाव इसलिए पड़ता है कि हम जैसा करेंगे वैसा हमारे आने वाली पीढ़ियां भी करेंगी। तो उनसे सिखाइए कि आप घर का बना खाना खाएं, स्वस्थ खाना खाएं, निरोग रहें, तो हमारे आगे जीवन में अच्छी तरह हमें बेहतर जीवन दे सकता है।
शुक्रिया।
So this is Ms. Aparna. She is a part of the biology department. So Miss, the question we have for you is that how can you make green meals more accessible to people with different dietary needs?
Green meals are basically the plant originated food. Taking green vegetables or including green veggies in our meal, in our day-to-day life will help to lower the carbs. They have a lot of fibers which prevents the issues like constipation, making our bowels soft. Most of students or most of the children between the age of 5 to 18 nowadays, their highly intake is of junk food, which may not suit their body because they may be facing problem like obesity. Their metabolic rate may be not going normal or maybe not functioning at the normal rate. So yes, taking green vegetables or taking plant-based food will help them out to solve these problems. Then taking lot of sweet or the sugars or the carbohydrate can cause irritability, mood swinging in children among the age of this age group, which are very small or young. So yes, green meal usually help them out to stay away from all these types of issues in our day-to-day life.
Yes. And so Miss, how do unhealthy meals impact children?
Unhealthy meals includes basically the junk food, even the sugars, lots of chocolates which has sugar. They do have a limited demand for the sugars, but taking sugars high intake of sugars will just cause them irritability, mood swinging, even they go very restless. So yes, many health problems they will face in future.
Thank you, Miss.
Hello, this is Dr. Shankar here with us. He's a CGM in Nabai. So, Dr. Shankar, how would you handle sourcing eco-friendly food material in places that have limited access to them?
The first thing that comes to my mind is the millets. Millets are very local, indigenous to India, and the biggest advantage of adding millets to our consumption basket is that they are nutritious, number one. They are rich in various vitamins and minerals, number one. Number two, they are very friendly on the ecosystem. They require very limited inputs, limited irrigation requirements, and can be cultivated in dry lands of the country.
Yeah.
Okay. And also millets have been our food since for many years, but owing to urbanization in the country and increasing population, we have slowly moved out, they have moved out of our consumption basket. But it is time that we bring them back for the reasons that they are environmentally friendly to cultivate, require very limited number of resources, and then they are fit for small and marginal farmer agriculture. Okay.
Thank you. Hi, this is Ruth, and she's fifth year law student at Symbiosis Law College. So Ruth, how do you address the misconception that plant-based green meals are time-consuming to prepare?
Right. I think it's a common misconception that to be healthy, it has to be an extremely long process or even expensive process. I think this can be easily understood if you divide into two parts. One, you need to understand what are the seasonal fruits and vegetables in the season. If something is in season, that means the supply of it is much more. Incorporating that in your daily meals will make it a very inexpensive produce for you to incorporate in meals. And for it to be for the complaint being time consuming, we can easily, we have so many resources. We can easily do a small quick Google research or on YouTube, we understand what can I put in my air fryer that can be done in 5 minutes, a 1-pot recipe. There are so many available resources. I think we have a responsibility to just do a small Google research to understand how we can make our green meals more innovative and healthier and fun way for us to incorporate in our daily meals.
Thank you.